for all you mathematicians, that is a $128,000 profit margin.
Happy Friday, everyone! It's also
It's our birthday! Sing with me. Ready? Happy birthday to George. Happy birthday to George. Yeah, yeah. Happy birthday, dear George. You better be singing with me. Happy birthday. I said happy birthday to... She's 37.
Level 37.
You.
Now do the warrior cry like I always do.
So we're getting on the road, taking George on our birthday present weekend.
Birthday weekend.
But before we get to the state park with the camper, we're going to show you some of the top finds we've gotten from buying, reselling, flipping, you name it, auctions, all of it. And everything always has a story. We always tell you there's a story with every unit, and there's going to be a story with every single one of these items. And you're going to finally get to see it and hear it. It's the behind the scenes, what the Hales.
Of what the Hales. But
here's what I want to know beforehand. What do you think is going to be the most profitable, the insane profit margin, the number one find that we're going to make profit on? Because we're going to go from lowest to highest. Pause the video, put it in the comments below. Let us know, what do you think the profit margin's gonna be?
And now for our first find. You see this here? This is an antique crate. It was actually used around an old grand piano, a Yamaha. Now, you may go, why in the world is that such a great find? Well, here's the thing. It cost me absolutely zero. I was at an auction, caravan auction. The auctioneer got in an accident on his way to the last stop. The facility manager asked me to step in and be the auctioneer. I've never done it before, but I've always wanted to. I actually got to be the auctioneer that day. Now, auctioneers get 10% of whatever they sell the units for. And I bought 3, maybe 4 units that day. The facility manager, instead of charging me, gave them all to me for free. Nothing. And this one was filled with antiques. I want to show you what I did with some of the reclaimed wood from this actual crate.
I love this garbage can. Look how fancy it is. The first time I ever came over, I asked Jeremy, that is so cool. Where did you get this from? And what did he tell me?
I made it.
He built the thing. If you build it, they will throw trash in it. A lot of our viewers ask me, what do I collect? I really don't collect anything, and I usually don't hold on to anything that we find in the storage units because it's all about flipping and making that profit. So the one thing that actually 2 things that I wanted to keep from the storage units, follow me.
Okay. We're getting a behind the scenes look. This is the actual setup for the live stream.
This is our studio. I wanted to keep this table as part of the studio setup, and then I also wanted to keep the fist for all of the virtual fist pumps that we gave everyone. So this is our studio, and there is no profit margin. What we gain from it is being able to hang out with our subscribers during our live.
That's a pretty good profit margin.
I think it's more than profit.
Because let's face it, Sunday night is your favorite night of the week when we get to do the live streams. You love it.
I do. I love hanging out with our subscribers.
It may seem silly to some people, but this fireplace means the world to me because for 3 months, as I lived here with no utilities whatsoever, going through the worst time through a horrific divorce in my life, I would go out and pick up garbage and wood, and this is how I kept warm. There are a lot of times that trolls on YouTube, they see what we do for a living and they go, we wish you would lose everything. We can't wait for you to lose everything. What they don't understand is I already have, and I've built myself back up. So what we've done instead is I built up around the fireplace. I really wanted to rip it out in the beginning, and I actually enhanced it and built around it. And then George has taken some pieces. George, you want to show us what you've actually put up here? Everything around the fireplace is from a storage unit, including the actual mantle. That is from a storage unit as well. George, where did this one come from, the treasure chest?
This one came from a unit where we did a giveaway of whatever item they wanted, but this also had a ton of coin on the inside. Shortly after that video, we took all the coin in it from all of the units that we've acquired coin from and did the cash cashing in our coin video.
Which was amazing. If you haven't seen that, the ending amount was epic. It's in the playlist. What about this butter churner, George?
This butter churner was found in a unit, I believe, Dead Man's Parents.
No, it was after that, and I don't remember which one.
So we looked up the value of this thing, and this ranges anywhere from 160 to 180, but we decided to keep it because it looks cool on the mantle.
And we're going to keep the fireplace. We're not going to rip it out any longer.
Look this way, boy.
Yeah, it's a good boy. You may not think a horse like this is that incredible of a find, but this one horse that I kept came from a very, very affluent individual's storage unit. The unit was filled with gold. Everything that was in that unit was top of the line, top dollar, from $10,000, $15,000 watches to, it goes on and on. There were over 30 gun cases, maybe even closer to 40 gun cases. So this one toy would sell for $200 on eBay plus shipping, and I've held on to that for my kids and then also for any other kids that come and visit, such as George's nephews, who love to play with the horse. And so the value there is just the fun time with the kids. The viewers also always ask, what do I collect? And the reality is not much of anything. The only thing that I typically end up keeping is movies. And so we've got Blu-rays and we have DVDs, and well, it's not only adults, there's also all kinds of Veggie Tales, and by all means, we only keep the appropriate things, so don't get thrown off by adult collection. Because
DVD for days.
We don't hold on to that, but I do have DVDs and Blu-rays for days and days and days and days, and they all get watched on the big screen above the fireplace right by the balcony. Believe it or not, the camper was even part of a flip deal. As a matter of fact, I bought this on Craigslist. I flipped my previous camper, and I flipped a piece of property that I had on Cinnamon Lake, and I bought this camper. Today, if I were to sell this camper, which I bought it maybe 2 years ago, this camper would make me roughly still $10,000 in profit. Not a bad deal. Now, when I got on Craigslist to find this camper, I was actually only looking for a sewage pipe for my other camper. And then I found this one. And then, as hagglers and negotiators do, I negotiated and negotiated and negotiated. And as most things go, the people needed money so bad that I got it for a price that was ridiculous. And now we get to go this weekend and enjoy it. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do a video tomorrow, crib style, and we're going to show you the inside of it because so many of you have asked what it looks like. This isn't the one that we're planning on taking on the road in 2020. We're planning on selling this one and getting another if you've watched our videos. Upgrade!
We shared earlier this week all of the gold finds that we found, and it had an estimated value of over $8,400. This tote alone is filled with accumulated gold, silver, diamonds, pearls, and other stones that we found, and we're guesstimating roughly about $50,000 worth of jewelry right here.
Which isn't a bad profit margin when you're buying storage units. This is a guesstimate of $50,000. We haven't sold any of it yet. And this does not include this week's huge stash of gold and silver and diamonds and jewels and gems.
Yeah, it's not in this.
This is everything from the past. This has got to be about a year before I sold the other stash, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the past year. We're guessing roughly $50,000 in gold, silver, gems, diamonds, the whole deal. We shared with you not too long ago that this house, which I call Chelsea's house because Chelsea bought it at the age of 15, was bought at auction as well. Now I'm going to tell you what the price paid was. This was a sheriff auction. So the price paid was $72,000. I want you to pause the video. I want you to comment down below what you think the going rate would be today to flip it, to sell it. now that you're back, I'm going to tell you today this house would actually sell for $200,000 in this neighborhood, in this market. It's a 2,200 square foot house. For all you mathematicians, that is a $128,000 profit margin. For the most profitable find, we're back at the Fireplace. Now, no doubt you're wondering right now, is it the Coke bottles? No. Is it the Pepsi bottle? No. You're thinking, how in the world do you top $128,000? Well, you see these glass bottles here? This is actually old water bottles. Water company right there. These bottles came from a piece of property that I purchased. You're never going to believe how I found it, and you're never going to believe the story behind it. I was on Facebook Marketplace, and somebody had posted that they were looking to sell a piece of property. Not only was it a piece of property, it was a commercial piece of property. Not only was it a piece of property and a commercial piece of property, it was in a good location right on Main Street. So I contacted the individual through Facebook. I said, I'd like to come and see your property because I was looking to open up another thrift store. Well, when I got there, I found out that the piece of property was actually owned by a lawyer. The lawyer then gifted the property for the tax write-off that she needed to her maintenance man, who then had no clue how to run a piece of property and was scared to death to get property insurance. And he thought property insurance would cost more than he could afford. So we started to haggle. And we haggled. And we haggled. You're never going to believe it. I bought the piece of property. Not for $200,000. Not for $100,000. Not for $20,000. Facebook Marketplace. I bought the piece of commercial property for $1,800.
Say what?
That's $1,800. A piece of property that a guy had no money invested in whatsoever. Down below in the basement, there were glass bottles everywhere. Everywhere. And these are some of the glass bottles from that basement. Now, I decided not to actually open up a thrift store, and there was an apartment up above as well, multiple apartments. I decided to flip it instead. So, my most profitable flip that I'm sharing with you right now has to do with these glass bottles. How much do you think I made on a $1,800 piece of commercial property that had all kinds of glass bottles in the basement? Pause the video and let me know in the comments, how much money did I make on Facebook Marketplace buying a commercial piece of real estate and flipping it with bottles in below?